What is up, everybody? Can everybody hear me out there today? Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I got you.
Pretty good.
Yep, I can hear you.
For some
wonderfully.
reason, I can't hear you.
Oh, great.
I
Every
don't
time.
know why.
I've just been talking to you for the last 15 minutes and
Well, I think what happens.
technology happens.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. Maybe this will work. I don't know. See, I don't understand. Like, I can do that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. See, I can hear you now.
As
there
well,
we
we
go.
should do it the old-fashioned way.
Do it the old-fashioned way. Let's see. I guess everybody can hear us. I have no fucking clue.
Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs down.
No. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You know what? We can do this. We can do this a different way. You always have to watch yourself, right?
Yep.
So what's funny is sometimes when I'm doing these recordings, sometimes I realize I'm doing them right, and then sometimes I realize I'm not doing it right. So,
I mean, to be fair, we're only like the third one in. So
there we go. Yeah, we're good. Okay. We'll do it this way. Johnny boy, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm
say
good.
Internet, say hi to John. John, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
So glad to see you, my friend.
I know. Long time no see. Oh, I gotta put glasses on. I have to look smart today. We have to look smart, play the part.
That's right.
As we talk about the mighty Exodus today. For my opinion, as we could tell by the shirt, I did not buy it for the show. I've had this shirt, God damn it. What are you wearing? What do you got?
Oh, that's my Metallica fan club.
Ooh, still
jacket.
You got a fan club jacket? Wow, yeah. Good for you, dude. You are a diehard Metallica, like through and through.
That was my introduction to the world of metal.
You think you're going to get a tattoo of Metallica soon enough? Maybe.
I've only been talking about it for like the last 20 years or so. I'll
make you a deal. If we get 100 subscribers within a year, I'll pay for your tattoo. I swear I will pay for your tattoo, and it has to be Metallica. It has to be.
Oh, for sure, man.
Like the M, or like, you know.
I was gonna do the Ninja Star.
That's. Will you get it on your lower back? Like a tramp stamp?
No. That's reserved for a butterfly. That's a butterfly right there.
A Ninja Star butterfly? We can do that. Enough of that bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. Today, we actually have 2 sponsors today for this show. So the first sponsor is my brother's site, for his lures. Am I saying that right? Lures?
Yeah, they're lures, I think.
Lures.
Like you're luring. Like I know. Yeah, it's a lure.
That sounded creepy.
I know. It sounds stupid. I know.
Well, with his website, which is nice, $14. He's already raised for MS, so that's really cool. Nice. And he's really putting in a lot of effort with this stuff. He's getting more coming through. So I just want to give him a shout out. You know, always will. This is my brother's.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it today. He's on vacation.
Vacation.
I know.
They have internet on vacation.
You hear that? He's in Nags Head. He's an
Oh,
Eggs
okay.
Head. They
Cool.
get him and his soon-to-be wife, Michelle.
Yeah.
But
It's a trap. Don't do it.
look, I've already said, don't do it.
I tell everybody it's a trap. Don't do it.
It is. It's overrated. It's overrated. All right, but
Man.
what we have here is that our next sponsor is actually going to be Mickey. Mickey's
Ah.
thing. Um,
Yeah, his stuff is really cool.
doing the gnomes, but he does 3D
He does-
printing.
So many things.
I know. He does so many things. He does specialized orders. If you think of something you want to get done, here's his gnome right here. And soon enough, here in about a month, we're actually going to be giving one of these away on the show. But you got to sign up for the YouTube and you got to leave a comment, and put you in the grand, prize for this. Actually, it is, I think, one of these he's going to make for the show to give away for free. Isn't that crazy? That dude's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's good people.
He's good to people. He's good. But in the description of the show, there will be websites to all this. I got to put them in the old one for episodes 1 and 2. But there will be websites where you can go to his Facebook, his Instagram. It'll
TikTok
be
or whatever.
Yeah, TikTok, all that. My brother's site would be there too. So yeah, you guys take a moment, everything, order something, or just like the page, or just leave comments, man. Anything is better than nothing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Definitely help out small businesses.
Yeah,
sure.
please, and thank you. So, all right, enough business. Time to get to the brass and tacks of this motherfucker. Sorry, guys, this is not PG. It's going to be rated R the whole goddamn time. Because it's Exodus, man. It's freaking Exodus. What do you think about Exodus? What as listening to the albums over the past week, and you've probably known about Exodus for a while.
Oh, for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like they are underrated.
Yes.
They tend to fly. I mean, unless you listen to satellite radio or whatever.
Yeah.
But they tend to fly under the radar. They're just
just like right.
They're like right underneath there. They're like,
if you can rate, let's think about this for a minute before we get into the details about the albums and everything like that. You have the Mighty Four, right?
Yep, the big four, sure.
You always got Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I
think it goes Metallica, Megadeth,
yes,
Slayer, Anthrax. I think the other three are very interchangeable with each other depending on who you talk to.
Yes, which is Exodus, Testament, right? Testament.
Yep.
I think Testament. What's the third one to you? Mine would be Death Angel.
Yeah, either Death Angel or Dark Angel, depending on
who you talk to.
Who you talk to.
Who you talk to. Well, if let's think hypothetically here. Their first album, which is Bonded by Blood.
Yep.
That was supposed to come out in 83, 84. And they had to delay it a whole year because something with their singer, Paul Bailoff, rest in peace.
Yeah.
They had a problem or something with it, and they had to wait until, I believe,
84. It was the summer of 84 they recorded it, I think.
Yes. And they were supposed to bring it out in 84, but they had to wait until 85. Yeah. If they didn't have to wait, they would have beat Megadeth to the punch for the top 4. We would have been talking about a different band here, I believe. It would have been a whole different. I think Megadeth would still have its notoriety, but not as only because of Dave Mustaine, of course.
It's insanity.
But it would have been funny. Mr. Kirk Hammett, Mr. Metallica, came from Exodus, and
Yep.
Exodus would have been in the top 4. He would have been in a top 4 band.
Thrash band. Yep.
Yeah, thrash band. We're talking, and you're right. That's where they fly to that. They are so close.
Mhm.
In every interview that you talk to the top 4 or the big 4, they're like, Exodus should have been right there. And we got to remember too is Clash of the Titans, right?
Yep.
The biggest Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax. What was the opening band supposed to be? Not Exodus. It was supposed to be Death Angel, but they couldn't because they had a bad bus accident. So we always have to remember Testament and Death Angel and Exodus are like just right there.
Yeah.
And I like how Exodus flies under that radar sometimes because it gives them like that underground kind of sound-ish, type of thing. It's my band, not
I say Testament does that too.
Testament does that too. Yeah, you're right about. I mean, look at Zetro. Zetro came from Testament. The lead singer, back in the band now, he came from Testament. He did the demo for him. They got rid of him. He went to Exodus, and they got Chuck Billy. And it's funny how everything just goes like this, man. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody, back in the day.
Calls your friend.
Oh. All right. You ready for this?
I mean, as I will ever be, I guess.
So what we're going to do, I will let you pick when we spin this. If you want to talk about that album, by all means, because I could talk about every one of them, but I want to give you the opportunity because you're coming into Exodus as knowing them, but now you're understanding them. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I want to give you the opportunity. Now, if you didn't listen to the album, let me know. I want to thank Mickey, Runyon, and my friend Jessica. Jessica, if you're hearing this, and all you other guys, thank you for listening to albums. Thank you for giving me your comments. And we're going to talk about it. So let's see. Exhibit B.
Oh, that's next on the list to listen to.
So we did not listen to Exhibit B. Okay.
I did not.
Okay. To me, Exhibit B and Exhibit A could have been a double album. They really could. I think they played it smart by separating them. I truly feel either A or B are kind of at the same level, but I feel like Exhibit B was more of a, how would you put it? Had a lot of catchy songs, if you call them catchy, like Burn, Hollywood Burn. I mean, who doesn't like that fucking, you know what I mean? That's a cool song title. Going from there, I do tend to listen to Exhibit B more than Exhibit A because of one song. If you listen to Exhibit B and you listen to the first song called The Ballad of Leonard and Charles, holy shit, that song is fucking like a killer. Dude, I get so hyped every time I hear this fucking song. It's really, really good. I think also too, this album kind of came out. You remember the Virginia Tech shootings?
Oh yeah.
They actually did a song called Class Dismiss as part of that. So it was during that time, and a lot of court cases called Hammer Life. You know what I mean? They really put the nose on society of what's happening at that moment. And they really, it's easy for a band like Exodus to show the grim and the black and the blood because it's always happening around us, right? It's always happening. There's no happy. You don't watch the news, without seeing the most evil shit in the world. News never is happy. It's always ugly. And they really know how to really put it as art coming through. Um, I really do like this album. Where I would put it would probably be, we are going to be a little bit different today. It's okay to have more than three because there's only two of us.
Right.
We're going to do whatever we want. I really think probably B, but a high B, because some songs, they have this notion when tempo happened, when they did tempo, they do the fast stuff and then they got the groove heavy stuff. As you notice with tempo and even Exhibit A, they know how to do a crushing chugging, but they got the speed part. I think they did a little bit too much in this album. It's still a killer album. I think it's great. I just don't think it's like Exhibit A has a step up on it. I don't know why, but for me it does. Sometimes the lyrics are kind of cheesy to a point and catchy. Like there's like choruses. I'm like, Exodus has choruses? What the fuck, you know? But
Yeah.
I give it a high B. I think it's a good album to listen to. You know, if you listen to A and B like side by side, you're like, okay, it's load and reload. That's really what it is. But
I was
better.
going to say that probably would be my guess just by Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
Yeah, they. I'll be honest. It's better than load and reload.
I mean, well, I mean,
That's
from what I've heard,
mean. Sorry.
from what I've heard so far, you're not wrong.
I'm telling you, man. All right, let's go to the wheel. Now, also too, with everybody who did with the albums and rated themselves, we're going to intertwine them with it. And it was nice that a lot of people listened to it and really gave their honest opinions. Mickey evidently is a big Exodus fan. Big. Yeah. So I was like, cool, you know? So I was like, all right. Ooh, tempo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, I did not get that one either.
That's fine. I'll tell you this much. After Force a Habit, Exodus took a long... They pretty much broke up after Force a Habit.
Yeah, that because of like issues with Sousa and Gary Holt, or was that just
intertwined of the band? Drugs, alcohol, all personalities. I think a lot of it had to do with it. You know, I think life in general caught up to them.
As it tends to do.
Tempo was actually supposed to be the reincarnation of the Bonded by Blood. They were getting Paul Bailoff back.
Right.
They were playing festivals, and then he passed away. And I think
2001, I think.
Yep, 2001.
Yeah, because he had a stroke or something.
He had a stroke. Yep. So being with that, it definitely took a toll, and that's where they brought Zetro back, which in my case, Zetro was a better fit. I love Zetro. I think he is their lead singer. That's why he's back in the band now again.
Yep.
Zetro does have a personality issue, but I think they're cooler heads now. I think Holt too. I mean, Mr. Holt, you know, he is Mr. Exodus. You know, him and Tom Huntington, that drummer.
Yeah, they're the two consistent ones for sure.
So tempo, that is one I gave to Runyon, Mr. Mike Runyon. If you're listening, thank you. He loved tempo. He gave it a B. He thought it was a great album. I did tell him that I didn't want to tell him this, but who's the metal god to us? Judas Priest, Mr. Rob Halford.
Yep.
He, back in an interview, this is his top 5 album of all time for him, is Tempo of the Damned. I can say this much, Tempo is their last great album front to back. I truly believe that this album, you're going to be surprised, is an S tier for me. Dude, I can listen to this album front to back with no skipping. This is their album where they blended the speed and the heaviness that they can do, but clean sound. When you listen to a lot of their old stuff, it gets muddy sometimes. There's too much bass or too much overtone, just the quality of life of albums,
80s recording production.
80s Ride the Lightning had that problem too. You know what I mean? That it had too much thickness to it. This is their first album where every instrument was pronounced. The sound quality is fucking killer. The riffs are, you had that much time, like 10 years to come up with riffs. You definitely could hear like no shortage of solos. It's an S tier for me. Holy crap, this album is a great. The only problem I have with this album, the cover art is really, I don't care for it. It's just, you got some guy on a piano. Let me see if I can't bring it up. Let's see. Let's bring it down. Boop. Album. Exodus. Let's see. You believe me.
Yeah, I believe you.
You believe me.
I can see the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But you know what? When this came out, and I think I had, I forgot what car. This album passes the gym, the car, and at home, listening to it all the time. I'm telling you, man, if you listen to Star Spangled Banner, what a killer title for you figure in 04, this was after 9/11. Right. So, being with that, and then you go to their next good song for me would be War Is My Shepherd. Come on. What a killer title for like songs,
Yep.
Sealed with a fist and, throwing down. You're like, man, this album's heavy, dude. This album can go against any album and it will crush it. For me, it would crush it. It is definitely S tier. I'm not going to give away, but it's definitely an S tier for me. So, but you didn't listen to that one, right?
I did not. I was thinking like, oh, I should listen to the ones that you gave the other guys. And
sure.
I'll have time to start from the beginning. And then, like I said, I had some stuff done the other day and I was like, I ain't doing shit.
It's hard to listen to a band that's been there for 40 years. You have this much time to listen to it, unless you listen to it every day, right?
Yeah.
And Bonded by Blood.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I'd heard Bonded by Blood before, the song Bonded by Blood, and I was like, okay, I was excited for this album. So to me, I don't know if I was just in a weird mood when I was listening to it, but like the first half of the album just sounds exactly the same. Like the first 4 songs until you get to Metal Command, does it sound like it's a different song?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's thrashy as all hell.
It is. It definitely is.
And I think I would say Piranha is probably my favorite song off of it.
That is a killer song.
I think because the guitar work in that was like, oh, this is actually more than just chugging riffage, and again, we all have the double kicks with the ride, and you know what I mean.
The Bay Area stuff.
The Bay Area like sound, and
Yeah.
I mean, which is
Polka.
where they came from, which is fine, but that's I was just like, wow, this I mean, I don't want to say I was disappointed with it, but it was definitely like, oh, this is not what I was expecting it to be.
Do you feel like Bailoff was not really good? Like, okay. So the reason I bring up Bailoff is Exodus actually re-recorded every song.
They did, and it was let it be blood, or
yes, Let There Be Blood.
Let There Be Blood.
Did you listen?
That's an AC/DC song. If you want blood.
Yeah, you want, or let those about the rock. Like,
yeah,
it's a four. Yeah, it's always 4 sentences. I'll tell you this much: the last time I listened to that Bailoff record was like years ago. I don't even have it in my phone because I don't care for it.
Well, I think, I mean, there are some of their, there's some classic songs on there for sure.
Oh yeah. Strike of the Beast. That ends every one of their shows.
That's actually a good song too.
It is. But Let There Be Blood. Did you listen to that one?
I did not get a chance to get.
I think you would appreciate the songs a lot better, a lot more, because they slowed them down and made them heavier, and it sounds better.
And I think also they just again, with updated production at the time of redoing it in like, what was it, 2008 or something, or was it not?
Yeah. It was roughly around that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
definitely, like I said, I've got, I'm
2008. Yep.
I'm gonna go through.
So where do you put that album? We got to remember, this is Bailoff's album. We can't talk about Let There Be Blood, which I think is a really good album. I do tend to listen to that one to listen to this album. It's a weird situation with that.
Again, because I'm like, you have classic tracks on there. Production kind of sucks. And I mean, I don't know, it's like borderline B and C for me. Like, it could go either way.
I personally C.
Yeah.
I think Bailoff, I've watched, I went down the rabbit hole of Exodus a lot of times. I tend to like Paul Bailoff live than on the record.
Our record, sure.
And I like this record live more than the album itself.
And that's a big way that I judge bands, whether I get into them or not.
Yeah. This album, if I had to go off of this album, I would tend to probably, I'll tell you this much, it would probably go like Megadeth, Metallica, maybe Slayer, Exodus, and Anthrax. Anthrax first one is really not that good. We'll get to that when we get to Anthrax. When we get to Anthrax, whatever year that is.
Yeah, and they're 900 albums they have by that time.
So I'll tell you this much, what really appeals to me, and I wish I was part of that scene back in the day.
Oh, dude, if I could time travel.
Right? If I could time travel, I would go back to this time. I'll tell you this much. When you got Tom Moran and Kerry King from Slayer saying Exodus was the band and we wanted to be better than them, and Slayer is like a freaking cult, and they're like, we got to be more than them. You knew Exodus had it back in the day, but the production, you're like, it's one of those bands, they're better live than albums. And a lot of bands don't end up that way. They're better albums.
Opposite. Yep.
They are that other type of band. And
Mhm.
I saw them in 06. No, I saw them in 05 when they just got the new singer,
Rob Dukes.
Rob Dukes. Dude, it was so freaking loud. And I was like, this is Exodus. And they were opening up for Creator, or like middle of for Creator, another
Yeah.
good German band, thrash band. Dude, they were just ripping at Jax. You remember Jax?
Oh yeah.
They opened up for Creator, or like middle with Jax, at Jax with Creator. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw. Let's see. I saw King Diamond up there at Jack's.
Ooh, very nice, man. We could talk about that place so much, but yeah, for me, it's C. It's C tier. It was a good start. It's definitely better than Anthrax, and I think better than Slayer, because Slayer first album was great, but that really wasn't Slayer to me.
No, they didn't get there until again we can
Chemical Warfare.
Slayer. Yeah. Slayer when we get there, but I think for me, I think Slayer was Slayer when South of Heaven hit. But
fair enough.
Anyway. But that's for another show in like 6 months.
Yeah. Whatever year he pops in his 288 bands, or whatever, 298.
Whatever we got left.
Yeah, whatever we got left. We might have to make a special thrash show or thrash month for the top 4. We already did Metallica. Now we're gonna do like the others.
The other 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Exhibit. Yeah, we do Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, yeah.
Exhibit A,
that's what it looked like. Actually, I think it stopped on the other one, but
Fabulous. Now we're doing Exhibit A.
Yeah, we're doing Exhibit A.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because I got halfway through Exhibit A. Like I said, I was cramming.
You did your homework. I gotta let you. I have to let you show your homework.
Oh, my dumb little homework here, that my little note.
Yeah. Hey, at least I can read it.
They even got Exodus written up there.
Oh, look at you. So proper.
I know. I don't know why my stupid camera is backwards, but whatever. Damn you, HP laptop. I don't know.
Don't hold that against some people.
Yeah.
I don't think you can change that.
I don't think I can either, but I haven't really tried. So yeah, whatever.
So how far did you get into Exhibit A?
So I got about halfway through. The last one was I think I would left off on Iconoclast.
Okay. All right.
Let me see here. Let me get back.
I do.
Yep. Or Iconoclasm. Sorry.
What did you think about it?
It was definitely like heavier, I guess, if that's the term I can use.
Okay. Did it feel like they kind of went the?
It's like a bigger sound. Okay. I get it had like let's see here.
They want more muscle.
Yeah, and like I said, Rob Duke's vocals very different.
Sure.
Very different. They're also way longer songs.
They went very progressive. In my eyes, this is a very progressive album.
Because there's I could see some, like Dream Theater-esque things in there with the long.
Look, man, you go over 7 minutes, you're going Dream Theater. You definitely, you're either Iron Maiden kind of did the 6 to 8 minute songs sometimes, and then Dream Theater and Rush or whatever.
They just took it to another level.
But I can say the first 3 songs are fucking. I love how it goes from Call to Arms to Riot to Funeral. Yep.
And
what a great opening!
And. I love the bass line in Funeral Hymn. Just
right.
It's like catchy, but it's got a good groove, and it just makes you want to kind of just you just get into it.
So the bassist Jack Gibson has been there for well over 15, 20 years. And actually, he does a lot of producing on that album too. You don't ever hear him talk. He's very well mild mannered. He's kind of like Robert Trujillo to an extent. He's there to provide the metal, and that he does his job very, very well. I love Jack Gibson. He's very underrated bassist, in my opinion, too, because how he could play with his, Cliff. He reminds me of Cliff a lot, to be honest.
And what was it? As it was, or
as
shall
it should.
be,
Yeah,
as it should be. I got like a Black Label Society kind of vibe
sure.
to that song.
I do.
I think it might have been just like it might have been the pitch. I don't know. I'm not guitar, but the little the little like Zakk Wylde signature, bend the strings kind of thing there.
Sure.
In the solos, so that kind of.
So their guitarist, Gary Holt, Mr. Exodus, and Tom Slayer. Dude, you can't tell me he's not a great guitarist. You got him in two top bands, and you hear nothing about him until about 5 years ago when ESP finally picked him up, or 7. He's got his own custom ESP. He has his own tone now. They have tones now, like computer tones. He has his own tones. I can tell you what, I love listening to him. To me, he is way better than Kirk Hammett. He has better rhythms than Scott Ian. I'll be honest. Scott Ian is a rhythm machine. Dude, Gary Holt is right there. His solos, I feel like, are way better than Dave Mustaine's. Way better than Dave Mustaine's.
You're not going to get any argument over here.
Way better. We're talking P-Cells era. Dude, Gary Holt, man, God bless him. That dude is metal to fucking metal can fucking be.
Yep.
And the funniest guy you ever hear him in interviews too. Killer dude. I do have to say, I like Exhibit B more than Exhibit A. Personally, myself, I think it's a step up from Kill Head Machine 2. I think Exhibit A is a decent CD. It's better than Kill. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But you notice, so you listen to the old stuff, right? Pleasures.
I did listen to, yep.
It's a different mentality of how they play now. It's like as soon as they got older, they got more crunchier and like heavier as like the years go.
Well, yeah, I think that just is kind of a thing. Like you can't do that forever.
No. But it's kind of interesting with them because it sounds like progression of the band without getting out of your lane.
Yeah.
Example, Metallica, first 4, after Black Album. They really went there, and then they took a sharp right. You got Megadeth that went from, Killing My Business to Holy Wars, Rust in Peace. You got, Countdown. That definitely was a sharp right turn. For me, it was. Anthrax, after, Persistence of Time, going to Sound of White Noise. Everybody takes a Slayer kind of stayed in their lane a little bit. After a certain period, like 4 albums, they kind of stayed in their lane. Exodus, man, I'm telling you, man, they don't sway off in what they know. It's Exodus, like bar none. And that's why I appreciate them a lot. I really appreciate them for that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean,
okay. Where do you want to rate this, my friend? How do you feel so far?
So far, with what I've heard of it, I mean, I would give it, honestly, I'd give it an A.
Okay. All right, cool. It's out of half of it right now. So you give it a okay. I'm telling you, dude. Exodus, man, can't do no wrong. I'm telling you, man. Exodus to me can do no wrong. I love them. All right, let's go. Wow, we got 3 recent ones, and we got 4 old ones. Man, need to do the old ones.
Come on, old stuff.
Come on, old stuff. It's kind of funny. Mickey loved the old stuff, and I was kind of surprised by that too. Which ones did Mickey do? I forgot what Mickey did. Shooby-dooby-doo. He did. What did he do? God damn it, Mark, you idiot. I forgot which one.
Let's
Fabulous
see.
Shovel. Okay. What do we get?
Fabulous Disaster and Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. That's what you had him do.
Got it. Okay. Ooh, Impact is imminent.
Yeah.
Did you listen to this one?
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
I
want to hear your take on it.
I noticed with they like to use the sound bites at the beginning of the albums, or
Sure.
even in some of the other ones. And I was like, that's cool. And just coming out with, I can't even remember how the track list goes now. Hold on, give me a second. Well, no, because AWOL and Lunatic Parade, I love those songs. Those are great.
Lunatic Parade is the only one that's hard for me to get into. I did listen to it the other day, the song. I was like, you know what? I always skip the song. I listened to it. It's a very unique song. It definitely is not your typical A to B. It does have the C and, does stuff.
It does have some stuff that, but I love it. I think that's probably, and to be honest, why I think I like it is that's probably one that I've heard the most from Exodus is Lunatic Parade.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, the Sirius XM seems to like that that song.
Huh, Lunatic Parade. Wow. Okay.
But AWOL is good. I mean, again, the opening track, Impact is Imminent.
Yeah.
Is great.
Dude, that
and it was it seemed like to me too that was another step up in production and just overall sound with the band.
Dude, you're hitting it. You are exactly right, my friend.
It's one that you can listen to pretty much all the way through and not really be like, I probably should skip this track, or
if it's me, I'm not going to, no surprise here. This is an S tier for me. Big time. Impact Imminent, the crunch in this album is the best. I think it's the best album. They always said in an interview that they wish that album they could re-record out of any albums they've ever done. And I'm like,
what else could you do with it?
I think the drums or something was a little bit off. They said something with the drums. I thought the drums sounded great.
I thought they sounded great.
Yeah, I thought they were great. If I was going to say, you came up to me and said, I want to get into Exodus. What album do you want me to listen to first?
This one.
It's probably going to be this one. It definitely is. Mm-hmm. I think this album was kind of a change for them too, because they came out with AWOL, Lunatic, where they didn't go straight thrash the whole way speed. They threw in a couple curves, but it was Exodus. You knew. I think the vocals were top tier for me too. I think Zetro sounded great, but this is your pick. So what do you think?
It is. I thought he did, because I know on some of the later songs that he's on, like I think one of the new albums, like the newest one that just came out,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, oh God, his voice.
He does have, yeah,
It's very nasally, but like
It is.
in the earlier albums, it's like it's not so bad. But I don't know if he's still trying to do the same stuff, like how Brian Johnson from AC/DC, he doesn't talk the way he sings.
Mickey said he sounds like a heavier Brian Johnson. That's a quote he said. He sounds just like that.
I can see that because it's like and yeah, I don't know. It's just that whatever he's trying to do with his vocal cords,
it's just not working.
It's like maybe you need to rethink your delivery. But yeah, I would say this one surprised me too. Again, just going from the beginning with Bonded by Blood and then the other ones that I was like, wow, that's good. I would definitely put that in the S tier.
Dude, I'll be honest, tempo beats it out by like one or two songs for me. I think both albums, I could give you either or. If you wanted to listen to the old stuff, probably Eminent. If you want to know what the new stuff sound like, tempo would be that bridge of the two. Because first, we'll get into Force of Habit.
Yeah.
that eclipse old to new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're right. For me, definitely S tier, one or two in the list. I could either or pick which one. I do tend to go back to Imminent, a little bit less than Tempo. I think Tempo is more the modern, like heaviness of them. So, yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, I knew Imminent, dude. I'm telling you, man, the guitar work on there, bar none. They spent a lot of money on that album. I feel like they did a really good job on it.
Yeah, and I would put that one up against just about any other album, just for
me too.
For goodness sake.
For goodness sake. And
Pleasures of the Flesh.
Pleasures of the Flesh. All right, you want to talk about this one, or you want me to?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, so again, this is after Bonded by Blood. So again, being disappointed with Bonded by Blood in the way that it was like, oh, this is not what I was thinking. It sounded like a completely different band again, because you had Steve Souza, whatever his name is. Cetro. Yeah. You have him on the vocals, and it sounded like it was better produced.
Sure. A step up. Yeah. I hear you. You're exactly right.
You know, I think that it just, it was definitely a step up from Bonded by Blood in my eyes. And of course the deranged thing, again with the sound bite opening up and then deranged is, you know, it's a cool song. And you know, that opening couple, Till Death Do Us Part, Parasite.
Dude, Death Do Us Part, I do have that on my gym list. That is a good song. I really, it shows like I feel like Pleasure was more of a bigger, not bigger, but like more of an open guitar playing. Does that make sense? They weren't in a tight box. They definitely elaborated a little bit more with the guitar working.
Yeah, it wasn't just a straight, you know, chugging the whole time.
Yeah. Straight chugging. Yeah. I hear you. And that's where I feel like when people go from the debut album to their second album, you always see the increase of something.
Yep.
The whole band wise, part of it, something always gets better from first to second, but going from second to third is a small increments from there. I really, so Runyon had this album to rate himself. Runyon gave it a C, and I can kind of understand why. The production was better, the quality of everything was better, but it just had this muddiness to it a little bit too.
Yeah, it had like it didn't flow very well either.
No, it did not. You're exactly right.
There were like starts and stops and kind of it, and not in like the Dream Theater roller coaster of we're gonna take you here, we're gonna take you up, we're gonna take you down,
Yeah.
and you're gonna enjoy it the entire time. This was like, oh, it's like you just slam on the brakes and then you hit your face on the dashboard and go, well, wait a minute, what do we do that for?
Yeah, you know, and we got to remember too, this is Zetro's first album, you know, with them. You got to remember too, a lot of albums get written way before they start recording it, so they might have had Bailoff in mind for this album before they kicked him out.
Yeah,
you know, drugs and alcohol. People remember that. Remember that. That's where it happened, man. You know, when they first had Bonded by Blood, they did an okay tour. I think they did a European, but Bailoff was just too much for him, and they kind of had to start from square one. Zetro is a way step up for me from Bailoff. They kind of look the same too. If you look at old photos, they kind of look the same, but Zetro's singing is more, just had more of a
had more feeling to it.
Gravelly. He can stay in time. Bailoff had a problem staying in time. He just didn't have the singer vibe to know cues to sing. Right. He just sung, you know, and you can hear it live too, but live you can get away with whatever. But they had a problem with him in the studio. They're like, he could never be on time with what we're trying to get him to sing. It's just, he was either too much or too less. And I don't know, you know, when you look at the songs, they are a step up from Bonded, but it's not, it's a good direction where they're going. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
for sure.
So where would you put this as? I'll tell you where I would put it. Probably B.
That's what I was thinking. Like, again, it's like borderline B and C, but I think it's above the C line. It's like a B minus.
B minus. We need to start putting that as one of those B minus. You know what? Nah, we'll leave it there. I'll do that next time. We'll do it next time. You gave me a good idea, man. I appreciate that. Hey. All right. Let's see. 5 left. Let's see. Let's go through. Now, out of the bands that we talk about, whatever, you got Bailoff, Zetro, and Dukes. Who do you like better out of the 3?
Out of the 3, I do, like I said, the early stuff with Zetro I really like, and then for whatever reason, the new album, I cannot think of what it is.
Persona non grata. Persona
non grata. I mean, music sounds great, but just like what the hell is he doing with his voice now? And it's the same thing. He's like, I don't know. It just hit me like nails on a chalkboard one day, and maybe I'll have to get over it, you know, and just when I get to it and listen to it again. But it's just.
But you shouldn't need to do that. Look, if you when you start have to change your ideas about something, now you're changing your presence of who you are and everything like that, right? So
Mhm.
you really don't want to do that. So you know what I mean? You do
Yeah.
have two separate. You got the old Zetro and you got the new Zetro. I understand what you're saying though. So you know what I mean? Hey Mickey, he said, couldn't make it guys. We have Slay today. It's not Slayers. You can't say Slay. That's not fair.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. That's fine. Um, yeah, I like Zetro. I think they have more. Don't get me wrong, I do like Rob Dukes. I think the session with Rob Dukes was a chapter of Exodus where they went super heavy most of the time. They did have speed in there, but they really kind of did like Injustice for All type of deal
Yeah.
where they have Short of Straw, Harvest of Sorrow, Wolf of Man, they have the riffs there, but they didn't have to go 180 BPMs, they could be 110, you know what I mean? So there is, I'll go Zetro. Zetro's.
Yeah, I do like Zetro. Also, Wolf and Man is on the Black album, not Injustice.
I know, but I was kind of, saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All right, whose turn is it?
Talk about Eye of the Beholder is probably that.
That's a good one. Underrated.
Yep.
Is it?
I think your turn.
My turn. Oof. Force of Habit. Man,
I didn't even see it spin. I just have the.
I spun it.
You spun it. You just spun it for yourself.
Yeah. I thought you were looking. My bad.
It wasn't there. It just. Well, maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I was looking at you in the thing.
So I have it set up so after it wins, it removes it for me.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have to do it. I'm being lazy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with
lazy. All right. Force of Habit.
So I did not get through it all the way. I got like 2 songs left that I was listening to, and I was like, oh, I got to jump to this other one because I was supposed to listen to that.
Was it hard listening to it?
I gotta say that it wasn't. I mean, for me, it wasn't really hard to listen to, but it was also I was like distracted with something else, so it kind of became background to me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I think I was like looking through emails and
I was doing busy work.
I was doing other things when I was listening to it, so it was kind of like some stuff like I was doing my little walk around the neighborhood and
sure,
and then I got lost in my own my own thoughts and it became background again. But Good Day to Die stuck out to me as like a pretty
that's a good one,
as a pretty good track. I mean, these are all kind of you can listen to it or not.
So this album for me could have been a C tier or even a B tier, because personally I think Me, Myself, and I, Thorn in My Side,
Yep.
One Foot in the Grave.
Yeah, I like those 2.
Good Day to Die are good songs. But when you got a song called Bitch, you got a song Fuel for the Fire that really wasn't good. Pump It Up.
Yeah.
Like, I have a problem with that. Like, Feeding Time at the Zoo. That's a good one.
That is a good one. Because again, I was gonna say they bring back the sound bite and like I want to make monkey soup. Yeah.
Yeah. Telepathy.
It's just like again, that's just a good song. It's
that's really one of the albums that I do have to skip. Like, I pick songs out of that album so I don't have to listen to the whole album.
Right.
That's one of the, and actually a couple of those songs are part of my gym list. That's another thing I really look at is the functionality of a song. I have a huge gym list for listening to, and it's random. And when I hear like Feeding Time at the Zoo, Me, Myself, and I, dude, like The sound quality is okay too. I think it
Yeah.
kind of has a Fabulous Disaster sound to it. Not Impact's Imminent though. Impact's Imminent
No.
is the best of the five. This to
Yeah.
me was their load in a certain way. But you know what's funny is you got that album, they kind of still kind of stayed in their lane to a certain degree. It
Yep.
wasn't like a whole album took a right hand turn. It was
Yeah.
like only a couple songs. So I can appreciate it, but to me, this is bottom of the barrel for them, which it's still not a bad album.
No.
But
No.
I'll be honest with you. I can listen to this one. I'll put it to C. I can listen to this one more than Bonded by Blood easily. Easily.
Yeah, I can see that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I got two more. I just finished Feeding Time at the Zoo. That was the last one I
Yeah.
heard.
And
So-
funny enough, I did not let anybody listen to that album. I left it for myself because I was like, you're gonna be like, man, what the hell is this? Like, you gave me Reload to listen to, really? You know, I was like,
Yeah.
or something like that. You know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, I
Mickey.
know what you're saying.
I'm being
Yep.
funny.
I know Mickey's very sensitive about Reload.
Hey, man, everybody's opinions are opinions, man. This is how funny can you make them. That's what matters. Feelings mean nothing.
Nope.
Feelings
'Cause
mean nothing.
Feelings mean nothing because your ego is the thing that gets hurt, not your feelings.
That's right. That's a very good point. Ooh, Blood in, Blood out. Did you listen to that one?
No, but I probably have heard something from it.
So my friend Jessica, that's the one I gave my friend Jessica. She rated Scenes of the Memory for Dream Theater for us. And she thought the world of it. But she's like, it's not the band I would listen to. But I thought that album was 9 out of 10. Scenes of the Memory was perfect, you know, great album. Blood in, Blood out is probably, okay, that's their first album for the second time Zetro's back. That's the first album they got him back. It felt very old school and new school at the same time for me. Jessica gave it a 9 out of 10. She's like, it was an awesome album. She thought it was great. I don't know if her son listened to it or not. She took her son to go see Judas Priest like a week ago.
Nice.
That was just in Amar Amarth. Is that how you say it? Amar. They opened up for him. So,
oh man, that's a good show,
right?
Why did I not go to that? What was I doing?
She lives in Philadelphia.
Oh, that would probably be why I didn't go.
That's probably it. You would have to go probably like DC or something.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah,
you can go there anyways for the Caps game. I don't want to fucking hear it.
No. So when I went in, was this 23? What the hell year are we in?
24.
We're in 24. I don't even know where the hell we are. Was it? Shit. When did they start? When did Metallica do this 72 seasons nonsense? That was this year, right?
It was last year. Yeah, because it came out in April.
So August of 22, I said to myself, I do not drive anywhere.
Ooh.
I do not drive anywhere for anybody for anything. And my son goes, Dad, we should go to see Metallica in Pittsburgh. And I said, are you fucking insane? I said, are they coming anywhere else closer? Because like, you would think I would know if they would come closer. Nope, that's the only place. Shit, we're going. I was like, all right, we're going to Pittsburgh. And so, and it was fun.
You're that guy. That's why I'm going to get you that tattoo, man. I swear I am.
And so, yeah, but it was fun going up to it. But that's as far as I've ever gone, and Metallica is probably the only band I will do that for.
But, it's funny. That's why I gave this album to her. So this is 2004. 2014 this came out, so we're talking 10 years ago. I personally, when I heard this album, her favorite songs out of it is Black 13 and Salt to Wound. Their opening tracks to every album is always fucking killer. Kind of like
Always
Dream,
on point. Yeah.
like Dream Theater's last song on the album is always really, really good. Their first
Always
song
epic. Yeah.
is always a smack in the fucking face, and I love it. They got one of my favorite songs, Collateral Damage. Huh? And they have a song called Collateral Damage. Shout out. It's a really good song, but they have the mixture of speed and heaviness at the same time with this album. It's good production. Dude, I strongly put this way above Exhibit A. It's almost an S tier. It is very, very close, but they got a song called Food for the Worms and Angel of Death, which their songs are okay. They should have been like B-sides, you know what I mean? Like extra track, whatever, special track.
Like B-side of a single or something.
Yeah, those should have been that. But I mean, out of anything, Kirk Hammett's on there, you know, for Salt the Wound. He plays on that track. Tempo, he played on Impaler on that song too, on Tempo. So, yeah, you got Kurt Hammett coming in for a special guest, you know?
Well, yeah, that's when James Hetfield decided, oh, maybe I can do other things and let people do stuff, and we'll still be Metallica, and it'll be okay.
Well, for Tempo, he came in and did what? Yeah, he did Impaler. Impaler was a 1985 song that they wrote back in the day, so that was pretty cool. But that song they did for Salt to Wound, dude, it's almost an S tier for me. So close, but
yeah, no, I will definitely check it out for sure.
I'll tell you this much. It's what just got removed?
Bonded by Blood, or not? Blood In, Blood Out, I think got removed.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I did that. Whew. All right, I got it set up auto. So yeah, if anything, Blood In, Blood Out. That's a great exodus back to the formula. I put Tempo and Blood In, Blood Out like kind of right beside each other. I do. I like Rob Dukes, but I kind of leave that as a different chapter.
It's like a for the fans.
Yes. Persona non grata.
Yeah. That's the newest one.
That is the latest one. Yes.
I've heard a couple tracks from it, and
came out in 2021, so it's only 3 years old to a certain degree.
Yeah, I feel like I guess the beatings will continue until morale improves.
That's on my gym list. Yep, that's one of them.
And Persona non grata is the one that I've probably heard. So.
Yeah. Slipping into Madness is pretty cool. I do like that song. The Fires of Division, that's a good one too. Being with this one, I think they kind of they missed the mark with this one. I don't know what they were trying to do. I hear a lot of Blood In, Blood Out a little bit in it, but I feel like they were trying something different, and I believe it did not work. This is not an album I go to that much. I go to Force and Habit more than this one. That's what I'm telling. The production is great.
The production's awesome. Yeah,
it's really good. But the songs like Casa del Planto, Lunatic Liar Lord, Prescribing Horror, they really don't do nothing for me. It's like,
I mean, they have a song called Clickbait too, so whatever.
Yeah. I tried listening to this album again because it's one of those I got a couple songs I picked from, and
Mhm.
that's it. Um, yeah, I guess I have to rate it, don't I? Because you only,
Yeah, out of the two, they're Exodus songs,
I'll give this
but
a C, a high
yep,
C, because the quality.
a C plus, if you will.
C plus. I really, it sucks though, because that was like after Blood In. You're talking 7 years later. You're like, oh fuck yeah,
And
back.
then you get this.
Yeah, I remember when I got the album. It was November. That's when it came out, and I
Yep.
put it on my Apple Music, and I started listening to it. And I was about to hit the gym, and I'm like, I gotta skip this one. And I was like, all right, keep going. And I gotta skip this one. It's like, why am I skipping these songs? It's fucking Exodus, and kind of missed the mark. I appreciate it, but yeah, they missed the mark on that one. Sorry, Exodus, if you're ever watching this. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Hey,
We're just two dudes. We're not important. Don't worry about
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I hear these goofballs. Take that shirt off. You're idiots.
You guys are nerds. Get out of here.
You nerds. Oh, you get Fabulous Disaster.
Fabulous Disaster. Where do I have that? So this one again, it's like going that they're climbing the mountain production wise,
Yeah.
sound wise. I thought the choice of putting those two covers, Lowrider and Overdose from AC/DC, were.
How did you feel about those covers?
I feel like they should not have done Lowrider.
Yep.
I can appreciate it for the fact that Lowrider is just a great song, and
Yes, yeah, I hear you.
but for them to do it, I think was a miss.
Yes, very much.
Just because that is not their sound.
Nope, that is definitely not.
Now, Korn's version of Lowrider, on the other hand,
I never listened to that one, but
oh, really? That's a good one.
I can understand Overdose as one of their covers. Like you got a guy who sounds like Brian Johnson but heavier, grabby sound. This album, the opening three, Last Act of Defiance, Fabulous Disaster, and Toxic Waltz, their hit, Toxic Waltz. I believe that's their hit.
That's their big hit. Yep.
Their big hit.
That's one of my favorite Exodus songs.
Right. Last Act of Defiance is a good opener. It's right under Impact for me. Well, you got Impact, then you have Scar Spangled Banner, and then you got Last Act of Defiance. But after Lowrider, Cage in Hell, Like Father, and Corruption, Verbal, I don't mind those songs. I do like them better than Force of Habit songs. Maybe Father Like Son, you got the hard Corruption. Cage in Hell, Corruption, I really could care less.
Those were kind of like, I don't know if those were like filler.
Yeah, I hear you. It's definitely a filler. And this came out in '89. Let's remember that too.
Yeah. That's true. It could be a lot worse. I did like Verbal Razors though, if I remember correctly.
Opening Season wasn't a good song either, but I do.
But I feel like the closing it with Overdose kind of saved them, if you want to.
It brought him back to course.
It brought him back. So.
Yeah. I hear you. With Fabulous Disaster, you look at a lot of people's albums repertoire. It's either the third album or fourth album is their crowning achievements, and I believe this was not a good third album for him. But do you believe it's better than Pleasure? See, that's the stipulation. Because I'll tell you this much: Mike didn't like Pleasure, dude. Mickey gave this an A. Mickey
Really?
loved this album, dude. He talks big time about this album. We were talking last night. He loves this album a lot. He gave it an A.
I mean, I would put it above uh, Pleasures. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Um,
so you think maybe a B? You maybe
Yeah.
give it a B. Okay,
Yep.
B minus. B minus.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that. I always think
Like,
that.
yeah, like I said again, just because they have their big hit,
Yeah.
and they brought it back with the AC/DC cover, and so it's a solid album.
Let's look at it from this point of view too. You got Bonded by Blood. Well, that's gone, right? You got Zetro now.
Mhm.
So you got Pleasure and then Fabulous. That's their second album, technically with Zetro.
Mhm.
What comes after Fabulous?
Impact, Imminent. Yep.
I know it's not the right way to think about it because it's like 1, 2, 3. Well, that's their third album. Well, they kind of did a restart. They did a restart, to be honest. And Anthrax did a restart too.
Couple times.
Well, with Joey, you had Spreading the Disease, then Among the Living, and then you had State of Euphoria and Presence of Time. They had a restart too. So you really, it depends. Being a fan, how you feel about the rating thing. I always look at Fabulous was they were heading in the right direction. They just kind of missed the mark on some of the songs. The first songs, Up to Lowrider, good. Openings, it's
The first three are good, and then there's like that middle section where it's like.
You almost could take Pleasures and Fabulous and take half and half, and you can make your own album in a certain degree with that part.
Ooh, we should try that.
Yeah, we should try that one time. We could make the ultimate greatest hits list of being with that. I always feel like a lot of these bands, you do 4 to 5 albums, greatest hits, and then the rest. You know what I mean? It's every band, their first 4 to 5 is always their hits.
And then you get somewhere in the middle where you go, are they trying to do something different? Or is it like they're like, okay, we've done this thing for so long, now let's try this, but also still be the same. And
yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Now the last one, Killhead Shovel Machine. Is that what it's called? Shovelhead Kill Machine, my bad. Fighter, what's up, man? I know I'm saying it all wrong, whatever. So funny enough, Mickey had Fabulous and Shovelhead. I gave him those two. He gave it a B. He said it was kind of hard for him to decide which one he liked the most out of the two. I'll tell you this much. Shovelhead was like their hardest album to date. I think
with a name like Shovel-Headed Kill Machine,
Well, also too, your vocals do change the course of songs, right? You can look at, Belladonna to
John Bush.
Their way of songs just changed.
Yep.
I think this is what happened to them because this was the first one with Rob Dukes. And I'll tell you this much, that was a different chapter of Exodus for me, where everything was heavier, not really faster, but it just had a thicker tone to everything and more evil. It just sounded more evil and just like...
kind of like doomy in a way.
Yes, very dark, very doomy. I know Crowbar, cool fucking band. their heaviness in Crowbar was so much in Exodus. This was one of the albums I used to listen to a lot. I don't know why. You know, did you listen to this album?
No, I didn't get it.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to. Like I
This
said, I still got more homework to do.
the lead singer, Rob Dukes, dude, he has such a voice that I feel like Exodus needed a change to show a different side of Exodus. This was it. I can honestly say that this would probably be in the B tier for me, top tier B. Funny enough, Tom Huntington, first album he didn't play on.
Yeah, that was that Bostaff was on that one?
Bostaff. You can kind of tell with his drumming, you're like, oh, that kind of sounds like Slayer, how he played. Paul did, I think, a great job. What a versatile drummer. He don't get enough credit either.
No.
I feel that, and also too, let's talk about Tom Huntington. Dude, he is one of those drummers that to this day is still plays with such high respect of what he does. I feel like he's better than Lars. I feel like he's
Who isn't?
I feel like he's better than Dave Lombardo. I love Dave Lombardo. I think he's better than Dave Lombardo.
I think it depends on the situation Dave Lombardo's in.
True. Mr. Bungle, he's really good at Mr. Bungle.
What was the other thing that he did that was side project that's actually really good?
Which one? Dude, he does a lot.
I know he does.
Dead Cross?
Dead Cross is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, what the?
Phantasm? He's played a lot.
He's playing a lot. I'm gonna have to look it up.
But I mean, to me, Tom Huntington does not get the respect out of everybody.
Like honestly, I would have not known who Tom Huntington was if I did not look into Exodus and
I know.
Go, man, this dude, like I'm sitting there, just, and I think I noticed it more on like Exhibit A with, I think that was that still Bostaff?
No, Bostaff only played on Shovel.
He played on that one. Okay, yeah. So yeah, on the Exhibit A, I was still just sitting there doing like my little air drumming with the double kicks and everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting into this.
Tom Huntington to me is a drummer's drummer where he knows his place, he can play the fills, and it sounds really, really good with the band.
Grip Inc. That's the one I was thinking of. Dave Lombardo. Yep.
I mean, funny enough, Tom Huntington has not played in any other bands. He's really stayed true to Exodus, founding member. I personally think his drumming, and I know Bonded by Blood is not top of the list, but he does a really good job in Bonded too.
Yeah,
I think
like I say, the drumming has always been, in my opinion, been very good with Exodus.
It has.
Like I said, even the bonded by blood, it's like he's trying to make it sound different.
He is. He is definitely showing his chops a lot better. I think he does a lot better than Lars's debut album. Charlie Benante does an okay job with Fistful of Metal, the debut. Dave Lombardo, I feel like is okay. He was kind of in a box to me in Show No Mercy.
I think because they were like, dude, you should do double bass. And he's like, really? Well, okay. So he didn't even really...
He only played the kick, and Dave learned double bass from Gene Hoglan. So when he learned Gene Hoglan, because Gene Hoglan,
Gene Hoglan is left-handed, so that's why Dave Lombardo has all those weird left-handed fills.
That's right.
And
and I think actually Gar Samuelson for the first Megadeth,
Mhm.
he's the number one out of the four for me because what he brought jazz wise was far and beyond in what the other guys. But Tom is right behind him. I feel like,
Oh
you know,
yeah, definitely.
I feel like too. A lot of times Tom's drums sound great. Almost every album he's been on to, they really didn't cut him
Mhm.
short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's a good songwriter. I heard he's really good. He contributes a lot of songwriting too, on top of it. So, um, yeah.
Yep.
Any closing thoughts about Exodus? What would you? Where would you put them in the rotation of your listening so far?
I mean, they definitely have jumped up a bunch of spaces for
Okay.
sure.
You feel like it's going to be a heavy rotation a little bit with them thrown
Yep.
in.
Yep, I'm gonna like say I got a couple more albums to listen to, but I feel like at least playlist wise, they're gonna get put in there for sure.
If you want that speed and heaviness, they can bring it just
Oh
as
yeah,
better
definitely.
than anybody else, dude, or better than a lot of bands. That's where a lot of times they get. I feel so bad they get shoved to the side. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
such a killer band.
and again because they're under the radar, so they still have that kind of underground, even though they're not.
Right? 40 years plus, and you still. And I can appreciate their songwriting because they, except Force of Habit, I feel like that was a recording company type of feel to it, where they are like, oh, we got to put covers and kind of, appeal to the masses, and that's what broke the band. They're like, we're not ourselves. A lot of internal turmoil, but they've stuck the course. They fly that metal flag a lot. They
Yep.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. Dream Theater was a step harder than Exodus for me to really lay out 1, 2. You know what I mean? For
Yeah,
me,
and I don't know what it is about Dream Theater that makes them so complex to rate.
right? It's all about the moment. It's the moment you're in at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, myself, because one day seeing some memories great, and then the next day you're like, nah, images and words.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mad chaos.
Yeah. I'm feeling train of thought today,
Yeah, right. So
yeah, today's an Octavarium day. Yeah.
right, 24. I got 24 minutes before I gotta get home. I guess I'll listen to Octavarium. The song.
Yep. Or change of seasons,
Yeah. Change of seasons. It's like I do want to start listening to that more. It's just not one of those I just go to. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But all right. That is the list, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah.
That is it. All right, John. Are you ready for this?
Oh, for the magic spin. Let's see.
The monstrosity. Is that how you say it? Monstrosity?
Monstrosity, yeah.
Monstrosity. Don't tell me to talk. I can only show. All right. Here we go.
Now you're only talking for an hour and a half.
I know, right? Oh, jeez. Only. God. I really hope we get some like obscure, like we've never listened
heard
to
anything ever from. Yeah.
I would love that. Wouldn't it be funny if we get a glam metal band?
Oh my god.
They're in this.
I know they are.
They're in this.
It'll be one of those like the Apple Music and Spotify are gonna slap us in the face. So what are you doing?
All right. What is it going to be? Gorgoth.
What?
Death metal. That's death metal, dude.
Oh, I know it is.
Wow. So that's the next band, Gorgoth. That's just the way it is, man.
we're gonna have a bunch of Cookie Monster vocals.
I don't know nothing about this band except they're death metal. They come overseas. I will be honest. I stepped foot in death metal a little bit, like a pinky toe or two, and my whole body's just in thrash, and you know what I mean. So
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
that is the next band. Whew, this is going to be wild. Gorgoth.
Oh boy, let's see.
Oh boy.
So at least from what I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like 6-ish albums that I can see on Spotify. I don't know what Apple Music has.
Okay.
But yeah, there's quite a
Man, they go back to 93. Yeah.
see. I got mine starts at 98, and then it goes to 2009. So,
Destroyer, I guess.
Yep. Destroyer, and then Quantos. We'll just call
Gotcha.
it that.
Yep.
And then
we just call it that.
under the sign of hell, pentagram.
They were formed in 92. Norwegian figures.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, Gorgoth, yeah, oh boy. Yeah.
Yep. looks like there's an EP in here too.
Yeah, I see that
from
too.
2011.
Yeah, we're not doing EPs.
Wow, there's like 3 albums from 2011 that are like, I don't know what they were doing.
I got 6 albums from them. I'll double check that.
There's a live one from 96 that came out in 2007, whatever.
Well, being from 92, I mean, it's not many albums, so it looks like 6 so far. So listen to what you can, and I'll listen to what I can, and we'll be back here next Saturday.
All right.
If you just want to listen to 1 or 2 albums, that's all you got to do. I'll see
what I can do, man.
But this is the point of the show. We have to listen to stuff and really give our point of views on it. And
so, yeah, I mean, there's like, just on the Spotify side of things, there's, there's one song that's got like 4,480,000 whatever. So
they formed in 92. I hear this band name quite a few times in interviews and stuff like that.
I do hear it come up. Yeah. So
yep. All right, man.
All right. Yep.
Well, everybody, thank you.
It'll be a journey.
It will be a journey. Well, I appreciate whoever came out. Thank you again. Thank you guys. Mickey, Firefighter, appreciate it. Show will be next Saturday. I'll put it up and tell you what time. But other than that, thank you, John.
Yeah, man.
Say bye to everybody.
Goodbye, Internet. It was fun to see you again.
Of course.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. I will be putting it up and see what time. It'll probably be 8:30. And it'll definitely be after 8:30. I know that for a fact. Is there anything else you want to say about Exodus? Anything? No?
No, I mean, they're, yeah.
What a good band.
Great band, and they deserve more credit than they get.
They do. I think Exodus is, I think they raised the thrash metal flag, and they still do to this day. I really do. All right. All right, guys. Until next time. See ya.
Later.